Globalization, yes, it's about, of course, movement of goods and services. And what's fascinating to me is just how cheap these movements have become. Or rather, how expensive land movement has become. In my country, it costs more to move a lorry, a container, 150 kilometers than it does to move the same container from London all the way to Shanghai. For me, that is truly shocking. And it's an example of why it is, as you know, that in the future, every one of your factories that is within 20 kilometers of a port will win a competitive advantage, a significant competitive advantage, over every one of the factories of your competitors that's 150 kilometers from a port. And my friends, a factory that is 1,000 kilometers from a port is over. It's very, very hard to compete in the tomorrow's world because the shipping costs relative to ordinary road freight is falling so low, especially in countries like India and the UK, where the infrastructure on the roads is getting so crowded that it's hard to get these just-in-time deliveries. So we're seeing more and more of these container ports built. We are back to the age of sail. I remember learning about this at school. I remember because Britain was a great maritime economy. I was told that the whole of my country's future was built on the fact that everything was carried in ships or on barges in water. But we're back to it again. It's strange. And that is why in my country there will be so many container ports that it's almost like the postman going around. Every 20 miles, another container. Every 20 miles, another two and another one. And another 20 miles, we reshuffle the whole ship in 24 hours. Another 20 miles, and another one comes. Because the technology is so incredible for using one robot, one human being, to completely strip out 45,000 containers, reshuffle them on the deck, and put them all back in 5 ships in 24 hours. Amazing. Extraordinary. So access to sea is going to be mission critical in every manufacturing and distribution process. Now you could say, Patrick, you have exaggerated. The reason why it's so cheap to move goods from London to Shanghai is there's 5 billion empty containers going that way. That's true, and they're now being used for reverse exports, and of course what we're putting in them is anything we don't want. So China is eating our plastics. In fact, 1/3 of all our UK recycled waste paper and plastic is going 8,000 miles to China. Extraordinary. It's just the start. It's partly because of the hunger for commodities.